And I said, "Oh, I have this cousin's like into Manchester United," and then we
I'm
just
not into dude. I'm not into United. Don't say that. I'm into City, Man City. Manchester City is different.
what's
It's
the
it's completely different.
difference?
They're different teams. It's like saying Western Sydney Wanderers versus Sydney FC. Like they're both in Sydney, but they're not the same team.
Well, too late now. It's already published. Hello, my name is Ariel, and you're listening to Never Have I Ever, a podcast about experiences I never had. Welcome to episode 7 of this podcast series. So if you're just joining us, feel free to subscribe as new episodes come out each week. You can also follow us on social media at NHIE_pod on Twitter and Instagram, and NHIE pod on Facebook. This week, I'm here to tell you that never have I ever said I was an expert on cryptocurrencies. Can $100 pay for my student loans? That was the mindset I had when I invested that amount to Dogecoin. For those who are unaware, Dogecoin is a cryptocurrency based on the Shiba Inu meme, and it has been rising lately this year. As I'm recording this, one Dogecoin is equivalent to 90 Australian cents and will continue to rise. But there's more to crypto than just this meme coin. I'm pretty sure we're all aware with the most popular one, Bitcoin, where one whole coin costs around 75,000 Australian dollars. And due to the pandemic and loss of jobs, people are now looking on new ways to get an easy buck. And why not do that by investing on crypto coins? But as someone who's new to this crypto economy, I need to know the risk if I choose to invest more. Should I pull out now or keep on holding? Or should I put in more into Dogecoin? Or maybe invest in other coins as well? Joining me is my cousin from the Philippines, Gio. He's a psychology major, has a family background in finance, and has been investing in cryptocurrency since 2016. He joins us as he shares us his life experience, knowledge, and the risk involved when it comes to the world of cryptocurrencies. Heads up, since I'm interviewing my cousin, which I know we shouldn't do in journalism, expect some laughter.
I would say I was always interested in cryptocurrency since I'd say 2016. Because I remember this is the rise of Bitcoin. This is when people were getting rich off of Bitcoin because that's when they started farming, like back in the early 2010s. So after that, I got interested in the hobby. Then when I actually invested money in cryptocurrency, I invested in this coin called Ethereum, which I believe is now the second biggest coin next to Bitcoin.
Wait, you invested in Ethereum?
Yes, honestly, this is the thing. I was supposed to invest super early into Ethereum. Like I was supposed to invest last July 2020, but then like to put into perspective, like when I was supposed to invest in July 2020, one Ethereum was only worth 5,000 pesos, Philippine pesos. So that's about 110 Australian dollars. And if you would see where Ethereum is now, it's about 2,200 USD. So the growth it experienced in 10 months, I'd say it surpassed Bitcoin. Like it blew, like if you compare the two, it completely blew Bitcoin out of the water. Because with Ethereum, Ethereum gets higher as soon as Bitcoin gets higher. Basically, Ethereum is kind of dependent on Bitcoin. That's why Ethereum blew up because Bitcoin right now it's already at an all-time high.
Okay, wow, damn, I didn't know you were an Ethereum investor, damn. So what makes crypto buying different to buying stocks in the stock market?
But I would say that anyone can get into buying crypto. All you just need is like a bank account and a cell phone. Like that's all. That's honestly all you need to get into it. Like I know like 16-year-olds that are actually getting into the hobby, and they're actually earning so much more. They're earning so much money just because of crypto. I'd say that's like one of the biggest reasons because anyone can get into it. Like I was supposed to get into stocks a few years back, but I found it super, super hassle on my part because there's so much rules into it. And I would say that if you want to be a risk taker, like if you want to earn more, I'd suggest you go into crypto. But then you can earn more, but at the same time, you can lose everything within the span of like 20 minutes. Because that's what I know people that lost basically all of their investments in a span of 15 minutes. That's why crypto's really wild. But if I would say that if you're a professional individual, like if you have a job and you just want your money to grow gradually, I'd suggest it's better for you to go into stocks.
So, how much have you earned so far in cryptocurrency if you're willing to disclose that amount?
I haven't earned a lot because I only invested super little into it. Like honestly, I invest like I saw your Facebook post a few weeks back or days back where you invested in Dogecoin and then it blew up, right? Like how much did you earn from that?
I the highest I've earned was around 800, and then I took back my initial investment and I just let all my profits do the work. As we're recording this right now, I'm currently sitting more than 300. I think it's around 600 if the last time I checked.
Because Dogecoin dipped, right?
Yeah, it dipped
Right
for
now
a
it's
bit.
low.
No, it's back. It's rising a bit now.
Yeah, because of Elon. Because honestly, Elon can control the whole market. Elon controls the Elon can manipulate any currency he wants just because it's Elon Musk. I remember a few weeks back, Elon bought like so much Bitcoin. Like he literally bought like a bit, like almost a billion, or I think even more than a billion in Bitcoin, thus rising the value of Bitcoin. And I think he did it just so Bitcoin will get higher, and just also so he can get richer and Tesla stock would get higher. So Elon Musk really has control over the whole Dogecoin situation. But going back to your question about earning, I honestly haven't invested a lot into it. Like I honestly invested like I would say $100 and getting my money back, I got like 170 because I was super impatient. I just needed the money immediately. So, but I'd say that's a good investment, right? Like I just had to wait 2 weeks to make $100 to 170. I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess I'm currently waiting right now, mostly because first of all, I it's growing, so I'm like, okay, I'll see where it goes. Also, I just wanted to see if $100 could pay off my student loans.
I remember when we talked in the family call. I said to you that you should have pulled out of Dogecoin like a few months back. As in, I remember I said to you, what you're doing is pretty stupid because you're keeping it. I said to you, you should have pulled out immediately once it rise. I never knew that 3 days later it's gonna have an all time high. I never knew. I did not know that was gonna happen. I think so. I would say that's also the beauty with cryptocurrencies because it's so unpredictable. Like I was completely wrong about it. I remember before the whole Dogecoin thing blew up, like a week before it. Because I have this friend, it's my neighbor. He earned a lot of money through crypto. I asked him, "Hey, should I invest in Dogecoin?" And I'll never forget what he said to me because he said, "Ah, yeah, don't invest in that. It's worthless. You're not gonna earn money from that." 3 days later, Dogecoin was like 2,000%. And we never felt so stupid because we didn't invest money into it. We could have been super rich by now.
I know someone, I won't name who it is, they invested a lot of money in Dogecoin and they told me about it. Actually, they're the ones who told me, you should invest in Dogecoin as well. Just give it a try. Just put in like the amount that you're willing to lose. And I'm like, and this was my dumb plan back in when it was like back in February. My plan was I'm gonna put in like $50 and it's gonna be like my temporary superannuation. So my temporary money, like retirement money. I'm gonna just put in $50 and see what happens. But what happened was it was stuck within like 10 cents, 10 Australian cents per Dogecoin. And it was like stuck there for months. So part of me was like, this isn't worth it. But basically, if I did my initial plan, I would just have invested so much money. I would have like it would be what I currently have, and I was like, damn, I should have believed in Dogecoin more. Oh well.
Yeah, that's the thing. But at the same time, you can't really base everything off hindsight because it's done already. Like we honestly can do anything about it. So it even makes me feel bad just by thinking about it. Because I could have earned so much more money. And like, going back to my friend who earned a lot through crypto, because what he does is he's basically a day trader. So he doesn't hold coins or the crypto. I think it's called hodl in crypto language, whatever that means. Basically, he doesn't hold for such a long time. He goes for these super high risk coins, high risk, high reward coins. Like honestly, the stuff he tells you that he invests in, like the coins are so stupid. I honestly don't know their names. People just put money in this for the meme. But this certain coin, if he invested about 800 USD, if he invested everything he had, that 800 USD, and he would have waited like let's say about 3 days. That 800 USD could have been about 40,000 US dollars in 3 days. He didn't do it. He was so depressed. He was depressed for like a week because he would have been set for life. He would have been set for life. Like he doesn't need to go to school anymore, and he's like what 4 years younger than me. He could have earned there 40,000 USD just by making an $800 investment. So if people are getting rich off of it, I guess that's really good. I guess that's good for people.
The way you see buying cryptocurrencies is literally just Animal Crossing, but with real life money now. And that's why I was willing to invest $100. If only I had time travel, I could go back in time and invest in my entire savings. And my dad would kill me if I did that.
Yeah, that's when you look back in time and then you say, I'd invest my entire savings onto it. Like if I would say that to myself back in when Ethereum happened. So if I invested like say $500 because I had my savings at that time, I honestly wouldn't know what was gonna happen to me because I have this super super stupid shopping addiction. That's why I wanted to get into crypto. I just wanted to get money so I can buy stuff. So I feel like if my just stagnant or like it was just there, I would be like shivering every day just because I couldn't buy something I wanted. I mean, as in, but if I would see my money growing, I guess that's good. But at the same time, you can honestly never know what's gonna happen because there's a possibility that Dogecoin will never go up. There's also a possibility that Dogecoin can get higher, but that's the thing about crypto. You really don't know where the money's gonna go because you can lose everything immediately. That's what I said earlier, and that's gonna suck if you lose everything.
Yeah. And that's why I don't want to invest more than $100 because it's like, why? I mean, $100 is like safe money for me. If I lose it, well, I feel bad, but it's like it's $100. Even though that's like a lot of money to me. But but if I go higher than that, let's say like $1,000 or 2,000 or like 10,000 or 20,000 or whatever, it's like why?
If you lose $1,000, you're probably gonna be depressed for the next few weeks because you'll never know when you're gonna get the money back or where you're gonna get the money.
So crypto mining, right? Like the concept of crypto mining.
Yeah, but crypto mining is so horribly bad for the environment.
Okay, explain why.
Okay, so basically the thing about crypto mining, why it's bad for the environment, because you can't just mine on like a normal computer. Basically, you're gonna be using so much electricity. Like I remember I read like this Bloomberg article where this one person probably mined like so much crypto. Or if it's not crypto, it's NFT. And basically the money this person earned just paid for the electricity of mining everything. One, it's expensive. Two, it's bad for the environment. And three, you have to be super smart to do it.
So what's the deal with like GPUs? Because ever since the COVID pandemic, there's now a shortage on graphics cards. So what does graphics cards have to do with crypto mining?
Actually, I don't think it has anything to do with that. It's just that there's like a shortage of parts in the market. This is why they can't really produce that much PS5s. There's like a global market shortage on electronics since everyone's like in the house because of the pandemic. So everyone's buying. So I just think that supply cannot handle the demand. I don't think it has anything to do with crypto, honestly.
Huh. Interesting, because a lot of people saying it's because one of the reasons why graphics cards are running out, aside from people becoming wannabe streamers, working at home and stuff like that, one of the reasons is mining. Like, I remember hearing from a tech YouTuber I watch, they talked about how one of the graphics card brands are trying to find ways to lock out crypto miners from using them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
I feel like crypto does play a part, but I just feel like a lot of people are just buying it just because they just want a game. I feel like that's the biggest factor on the shortage. It's more of people just wanting the game because gaming is super. Gaming has gotten like bigger because of the pandemic. Like I think and everyone could say that. So I guess that's the reason for the shortage.
yeah, like I got a PC rig literally just last year, and I didn't get a high end graphics card. No, God forbid me for getting that, especially if my dad is paying for it. I just got a mid tier one because I know it will work for me really well. Like I hardly game, I just produce content.
Not just that, the games you play don't necessarily require a GTX 3080. You don't need a 3080 to play Sims.
Hey, I play Assassin's Creed
You don't need what Assassin's Creed.
Valhalla.
Okay, maybe you might need a 3080.
So you mentioned earlier something about NFT. So for starters, what is NFT for those who are like unaware or living under a rock, or technically me?
Well, okay, so basically NFT is just like a if I it's just like blockchain or like code. Basically, it's if you know this thing called CryptoPunk, you know what that is.
No.
The best way for me to explain, like back in like the early 2010s when people were changing their DPs to that Black Eyed Peas 8-bit type style. If you remember that.
Oh, wait, which Black Eyed Peas album? The end or the beginning?
The end.
Oh,
The
that one.
one of those. You remember like it's super 8-bit, right? Like you can make yourself into an 8-bit character.
Oh,
That's basically
that's the beginning, man.
I'd say CryptoPunk is the best example for NFTs because it's not the most famous. It's one of the most expensive. Where you're buying this 8-bit character. Like me and my friends were on it like a few weeks back. The most expensive CryptoPunk at that time was like 8 million US dollars, which is like super. I honestly don't get it. It's basically like buying cards because once you buy a CryptoPunk or like any NFT, it's basically yours, and there's not really a set value. It's just how much people are willing to pay for that. You get it?
Ah, so it's like trading cards, and why I'm willing to pay $90 for a Fetch Oil
Yes,
Madoka Magical
yes.
reference.
So I guess it's. I feel like that's the easiest way to explain what an NFT is. It's basically if you have it, there's not really a set value. It's basically how much people are willing to pay for it. It's not like Bitcoin and Ethereum or like any other cryptocurrency because it's based on demand. Well, I'd say and it's like based on demand also, but crypto has a set price. Like you will always know, like you will know how much it is. What an NFT, it's basically who's the highest bidder.
So why is like it now becoming really popular lately? Like there's like people are like selling like fan arts that's for some reason becoming really expensive, or tweets that are now becoming NFTs. Like
Yeah,
what's the
exactly.
deal
It's
with
like
that?
I feel like they just want like for me, I feel like people just don't don't know what to do with their money anymore. Like the trends have been super weird over the past few months. Like back then, people were into basketball cards. Then people got into Pokemon cards. Then all of a sudden, crypto became a thing. Like it was always a thing, but it just suddenly got blown out of proportion. It was blown out of the water this year. Then it became a thing. Like where did this come from? But I just feel like people don't have anything to do with their money anymore.
Do you think our economy is going digital now?
I don't exactly think that, but I would say that crypto does affect the economy, but I would say in a good way. Because crypto makes people richer. Like without a doubt, crypto will make people richer. And because of they have more buying power, thus increasing the GDP of the country. Like I honestly don't think that the people who have or like who get into crypto keep the money like what like like how billionaires do it, right? Like they just keep their money and they just make it grow. I don't think the people who do crypto necessarily do that. I would like to think that they would immediately spend the money after. The money goes back to the country, and because people have more money, people will want to buy more stuff. Thus, the economy gets better.
Based on our really inexperienced experiences on investing and buying and doing stuff like this, like jumping into this dangerous and gambling pool of
It's not really
finance.
okay. It is gambling, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's gambling because at least here you know what you're getting into.
But it's still gambling! It's literally
You
Animal
can't
Crossing all over
you can't
again.
really, you can't really compare Animal Crossing to real world finances.
I would like to agree with you, but then there was an article by Bloomberg, I think, that says Animal Crossing New Horizons is now teaching young kids how the stock market works.
Honestly, GTA 5 did it first.
Since our things are much more accessible now, what is your advice to those who are willing to jump into this finance game?
Well, as you said there, it's way easier now. So if you have the money to do so, like you honestly don't need a lot of money to get into the hobby because if you at least when you lose, you're not losing a lot. Like, but it's better to learn now while it's still I'd say it's still fresh. So you can get in you can get in earlier. But just be careful with what you're getting into. That's all I can say.
One of the best advice I was told by anyone, whether that may be my friends or people I know, it's invest what you're willing to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Invest like don't like let's say I have 1,000 US in my bank account. Don't invest or like I have 1,000 US, but that's all my savings. Don't invest all your savings. You can invest like a certain percentage in it, or like invest like 100, or invest instead of buying something. I'd say just invest. At least your money's growing, and if you lose money, at least you learn something from it. And also, one of the like the best advice I've got that when once you double your money, you just pull out the other half and then just let your profits do all the work. Like what you're doing right now. At least you technically didn't lose money already because you basically broke even.
And do you think I'll be able to pay off my student loans with $100 on Dogecoin?
Maybe if Elon survived some more. Well, I think if Dogecoin reaches $1, I would say that you maybe you could. And there would also be so much more billionaires in billionaires in the world.
It's what's funny about the billionaires in the world though is that everyone's like saying, "Oh yeah, I hate the billionaires." Then suddenly everyone's investing, and now almost everyone's a billionaire, and it's just like,
No, but there's a big difference because when you get rich off of investing, like if you get rich off of crypto, you're not necessarily hurting anyone. It's not like a lot of these fast fashion companies like Zara, Uniqlo, like they're not paying their employees well enough. Like not a lot of them live on a significant wage. That's why a lot of people don't like billionaires because they cut corners to get rich.
yeah, but wouldn't all of this create some sort of inflation in the economy? Because let's say 100,000 people invested in Dogecoin, right? And let's say they all earn $1 million and they pull out and they have $1 million. Wouldn't that cause issues with the country's economy, considering that there are more millionaires thanks to all of this?
Honestly, if that happens, I think the country's gonna get better because since they have $1 million, they're probably gonna spend it all. They're probably gonna spend most of it. So I guess that's good. The money technically goes back into the country.
I mean, I don't know about the Philippines or anything or America, but in Australia, we do get taxed for profit when it comes to investments. So,
Yeah, it's like that in every country. But the only difference is the percentage of the tax you get. That's why if you invest in eToro, so if people don't know what eToro is an investment app. If you invest in eToro, the tax you're paying is United States tax because it's a US based app. That's why I think the tax is significantly bigger compared to Philippine apps.
are you still investing still? Like, do you have like money hold on crypto or you gave up?
it's not that I'm giving up. I'm just waiting for the next thing to happen. Me and my friend were just like waiting for Dogecoin to technically die down because everyone's getting into it. So we're just waiting for like the hype to die down and then look for the next. Basically, we're just looking for the next Dogecoin.
So what's the psychology when it comes to like buying stuff like this? Like, what is it different to the psychology when it comes to gambling?
I'd say they're pretty much similar because like when you buy something, you're only experiencing a high for a certain amount of time. Well, like in my experience, because when I buy something, I'm only happy for like let's say a day. Then a few days later, I completely forgot about what I bought. But the thing about gambling is, it's weirder because in gambling, when you earn a lot of money through gambling, like your first win, you want to gamble more because you know your money is higher if you win. But it makes it even worse because if you lose all your money, there are some people who would just like stop completely. But then there's a lot of people that they still gamble because they want to earn their money back.
So what's the difference between me investing in Dogecoin to our grandmother playing in the casino in Pagcor, whatever it's called in the Philippines?
Here's the difference. Our grandma's only rich. she doesn't she doesn't have to work. She doesn't need to invest in Dogecoin for her money to get for her money to get bigger. All of the money she's gambling away right now. That's basically because she already has the money to do so. I can't do that because if I if I gamble a certain amount of money, I don't know when I'm gonna get that money back.
If my grandmother's listening, I still love you, Miss Kita. Please come to Australia when it's safe. Please don't hate me.
It's like going to arcade. It's basically just the arcade for adults. That's why people go there to have fun. Our grandma does it for fun. She doesn't really do it. She doesn't really. I. She doesn't. She just does it for fun. She wants to experience an emotional high.
So, final advice to anyone listening. Like, for those who are listening to this right now, listening to two inexperienced people, one who has a journalism background, so I'm looking through how people view this and where the hype is coming from in the history, and you, who is somewhat a crypto expert who has been investing since 2016 and whatnot, so you have like lots of experience to all this, and you have a family background in finance. Any final advice?
Yeah, don't be afraid to lose money. Money's always gonna come back to you.
But also, like, invest smartly as well. Like, just don't give all your savings off. Just, invest what you're willing to lose. And also get involved with the community because I swear the community helps you make you feel better.
The crypto community. Like if I like just go on Reddit. Like if you can be active or like if you don't have social anxiety, just get on Reddit. Because I like my friend who's into it. He doesn't really know a lot about it, but he has his friend who's super knowledgeable in it. So basically, he just follows what his friend does, and that's how he gained a lot of money. So it doesn't hurt for you to have friends in the community.
But I think most importantly, just invest smartly
Yeah, exactly.
and if you want to be like better than the corrupt billionaires in the world, which we will not name,
Give back to the community.
yeah, I remember like one of the things in the Dogecoin community is that when Dogecoin reaches at least $10, 10% has to go to charity because it's giving back. And they're mostly aiming to animal shelters. So I'm like, okay, good on them.
Wait. When Dogecoin isn't even at $1 yet, and I don't even think if Dogecoin reaches $10.
Dude, that's what you said to me when it was still
No,
in
no.
10 cents.
But can you imagine though, if Dogecoin goes from how much is it now? It's like 10 cents, right? Or like 30, 40
it's 50,
cents.
It's 50 Australian cents.
Okay, let's say it goes to 50 Australian cents. Then if it jumps to $10 within the span of let's say a year, I would say that a lot of people would really become billionaires. As in, it's gonna be crazy.
Well, full disclosure, I know it's public knowledge that I invested in Dogecoin, but if it does reach $10, I still wouldn't be a billionaire. I wouldn't even be an illionaire. I'll just be still middle class.
No, you'd be you'd be a millionaire in the Philippines.
All I know is that money's going to my student loans immediately.
Yeah, see, at least you're putting the money in on something on like better things. Like you're investing in yourself. So that's a good cause.
My cousin and I have two very different views when it comes to cryptocurrencies. But one thing's for sure, there's always a risk we need to be aware of if we want to get involved. But he's also right. Crypto is now becoming really unpredictable, especially now as more people are interested. So we need to invest on what we're willing to lose and hope for the best. I'd like to thank Gio for joining me, and hopefully you and your friend find that next Dogecoin. My name is Ariel, and this has been another episode of Never Have I Ever. There are more topics and other missed out experiences I still have to cover. So until then, I hope you stick around for the next one. You can follow us on social media at NHIE_pod on Twitter and Instagram, and NHIE pod on Facebook to view updates and news. Also, while waiting, feel free to listen to an earlier episode of Never Have I Ever, or my other podcast, Casual Nerds with Matt, over on YouTube, Spotify, and other podcasting platforms. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.